We live in a weird world, in a weird economy. And one of the weirdest things to me is how many good jobs there are that have severe shortages. Electricians, HVAC techs, welders, plumbers, good paying jobs. Too many older people retiring, not enough young people filling in the ranks. Another example, land surveyors. Those people you see on the side of the road peering through these gizmos on tripods to get the lay of the land. We need more of them too. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, April 8th. First up, Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman is suing a New York State board that blocked him from accessing millions of dollars in campaign matching funds. As John Campbell reports for the New York Public News Network, the stakes are high for Governor Kathy Hochul's Republican opponent.
The Public Campaign Finance Board blocked Blakeman from participating in a state program where small campaign donations are matched 6-1. The board's Democrats ruled the Nassau County executive and his running mate didn't file the proper paperwork. Blakeman's attorney argues the decision was arbitrary and political. He's asking a state Supreme Court justice in Albany to overturn it. If he wins, Blakeman's campaign would be eligible for up to $3.5 million in matching funds. He had less than $2 million on hand last month. In Albany, I'm John Campbell for the New York Public News Network.
Firefighters in Jefferson County rescued 2 people in Lake Ontario after their boat capsized Monday evening. The Watertown Daily Times reports firefighters from Chameau and Cape Vincent used a drone to spot one person wearing a blue life jacket in the water. The Watertown City Fire Department deployed 2 boats to pick up the stranded boaters from the frigid water. They were airlifted to the hospital in Syracuse with hypothermic injuries. Their boat capsized in Chameau Bay and sank. Chameau's fire chief says boaters should pay close attention to conditions on the water during this unpredictable spring weather and wear life jackets when recreating on the water, especially when the water is this cold. Several North Country counties are part of a state pilot program that gives seniors free rides. Kara Chapman has more.
The state has partnered with the service GoGo Grandparent to offer on-demand rides to older New Yorkers, no grandkids required. In Clinton County, seniors ages 60 and older can get up to 8 one-way trips per month. Ray Alexander with the county's Office for the Aging says the best part is they're not just for doctor's visits.
It can be medical, but it could also be to go visit a friend, to go to the senior center, to go get their hair done, visit the pharmacy, grocery shop. It is totally open as far as what activity they're using it for.
Seniors sign up for GoGo Grandparent by submitting application and consent forms to the county. They're then given a number to call when they need a ride to locations up to 35 miles away. GoGo contracts with Uber and Lyft, whose availability is limited in the more sparsely populated areas of the North Country. A state Office for the Aging spokesperson says each county that does participate in the GoGo Grandparent partnership gets to decide what it'll look like. That means factors like local needs and existing transportation infrastructure come into play. Alexander says Clinton County initially kept a waitlist for GoGo Grandparent rides, but has since opened up the program. It's currently seeing a big upswing in demand, with dozens of rides requested over the last couple months.
A lot of them either are unable to drive anymore or, can't afford a vehicle. That there's numerous reasons why they need transportation.
Alexander says some everyday tasks, like getting groceries and prescriptions, have gotten easier with home delivery. But it's still important for seniors to simply get out of the house, largely to combat isolation and loneliness.
Cognitive health is increased by socialization.
Governor Kathy Hochul's budget proposal includes $500,000 to continue the state's partnership with GoGo Grandparent. Lewis, Herkimer, and Washington counties are also participating. You can contact their offices of the aging for more information. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio.
Some lawmakers in Albany are backing changes to a state environmental law that they think might be holding up construction of new housing. The New York Public News Network's Elias Guerra reports that Governor Kathy Hochul's program Let Them Build would amend the state's 1974 Environmental Quality Review Act.
Hochul wants to reform the law, known as SECRA, to fast-track building homes. The Regional Plan Association, a planning organization focused on the 31-county New York, New Jersey, Connecticut region, in the New York metro area, supports the reforms. Its executive vice president, Kate Slevin, said the reforms at their core are designed to make environmental reviews easier for multifamily housing in areas that are already developed and urbanized.
There's type 1 projects, which, if you look at the guidance, tend to have to look at a deeper environmental review. And then there's type 2 projects that have a different kind of guidance, and they're sort of seen as projects that are likely to not cause environmental harm. And so they don't have to do the deep level of analysis and go through this environmental impact analysis, essentially. And so what these reforms that are being talked about would do is they would increase the number of projects that are type 2.
Environmental groups like Riverkeeper, Scenic Hudson, and Catskill Mountain Keeper have expressed some reservations about the governor's proposal, but recognize the importance of growing the state's housing stock. For the New York Public News Network, I'm Elias Guerra.
Land surveying is the science of mapping space and defining boundaries. It's integral to things like property sales and almost any construction project. But the number of land surveyors who retire each year in the U.S. is about double the number that come into the profession. That's creating an overall shortage of surveyors and longer wait lists for their services. Amy Feiereisel reports.
Jeremy Thompson grew up in Oswegatchie in St. Lawrence County and has worked in land surveying for about 30 years. He says the job has taken him to places he'd never dreamed he'd go as a kid, to Alaska to work for the U.S. Forest Service.
I've been in industrial sites. I've been, in swamps. I've been in cities. I've been on construction sites. It's just been such an exciting, well-rounded career.
If it sounds like he's pitching his profession, well, he sort of is. The average age of a surveyor nationwide is about 58 years old. Thompson says that means lots of retirements, but that those surveyors aren't being replaced.
And at the New York State level, we've been trying to figure out how we can kind of turn the tides here and try to promote the profession, get the word out there.
Thompson is a recent president of the New York State Association of Professional Land Surveyors, and he wants to reverse the decline of people working in his field. He says a lot of that work has been reminding young people that this is a job option at all, going to college fairs, getting into high schools. And he says he's seen firsthand progress. 7 years ago, Thompson started teaching land surveying at the very school he attended, the SUNY ESF Ranger School in Wanakina.
My first class, I had 3 students in the land surveying technology program. Now, in my 7th year, I have 17 students.
To become licensed as a land surveyor in New York, you have to have a minimum of a 2-year degree, plus working experience and passing a state and federal exam. But Thompson says there are lots of career opportunities in surveying that don't require any specialized education, and the field is broadening all the time.
Now, with technology being the way it is with drones, we find ourselves being able to measure a lot larger areas a lot quicker. We can do building modeling. We can model the shape of the earth in the form of topographic surveys.
And not all land surveying even happens on land.
They can work on boats. Something called bathymetric surveying or hydrographic surveying is where they map under bodies of water. There are facets of the profession that lend itself to working inside. People that really gravitate towards working with computers and making 3D models of things or making maps.
Thompson says they just need more people to do all of those jobs. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio.
We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. And a quick reminder that if you listen to Story of the Day on the radio and it's sometimes hard to catch at 5:48 every day, maybe you miss it, just subscribe to the podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple and Stitcher and everywhere else that you get podcasts, including the NCPR app. It's free and it downloads automatically so you can even listen when there's no signal. Listen to Story of the Day as a podcast. Go to ncpr.org/podcast for details. Music today by B. Children of Canton and Dan Berggren of Ballston Spa. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.